Why'd you join pubs?
I joined Cubs when I was a freshman because I had been on the newspaper in sixth grade. And I don't know, since then I just wanted to do it to explore journalism. And I knew that the newspaper was like a big part of Huntley. And I knew that I wanted to get deeply involved in something. And I wasn't so good in sports. I'd tried them out. I felt like writing was my thing.
Oh, since like pubs is like your different class, how did you pick on up on it so well? Like, 'cause I was just talking with Dan, and you were like the chosen one. So tell me how you got like so good at it so quickly.
I don't know, like everything just seemed to come naturally for me. Um, Writing articles was like I saw other people struggle and I just didn't understand how because it was so enjoyable for me. Like I remember writing my first article sitting down on my kitchen table writing it and it just seemed right. Like I knew what I was doing. I had a good hold of the style book like from day one. And I still apply it to everything I do now as a college journalist. I actually just applied to be a copy editor at the Maneater at the University
Nice.
of Missouri.
What's like the most memorable piece you've written?
Um, Man, there's so many. Um, Probably the choking game article I did senior year.
Why?
Because it was like it was a new challenge for me. I'd never, at least I don't think I had done something as serious as that. Because I interviewed all the people I interviewed were people whose kids died to this. And so the story was definitely hard hitting. It was a serious topic, and it was a different way. It was a different. It was like a whole new level of reporting when you have to talk to people about, not like newsy things, but like a serious topic that happened to them. And I just wanted to get as much context as I could. I was just calling people across the country for this story.
How'd you prepare for that story?
Um, well, it was the summer before senior year that I got the idea for it from Danny Moritz. And she was like, this happened, maybe you should explore this and see what happened and do a story about it. So that's where the idea came from. So I knew I was going to do it. And I had one main contact. That was someone from Chicago whose daughter, Rebecca, died from it. And so that's how I started the whole thing. And then I just like looked online and found parents and different organizations who are in support of like challenging the choking game, I guess,
Okay.
raising awareness about it.
What did you think of the Chiefs you were under? What did you think of Alex? What did you learn from her your sophomore year?
Alex was a huge role model for me. Um, I don't know, like as a sophomore, you're so disconnected from the editorial board because you feel like they're so much higher than you. And I just wanted to make it my goal to someday be at that level.
Is there anything she did that like you picked up on and you carried with you when you were chief?
I really respected her leadership skills and her speaking abilities, like in front of the class. I felt like that was a really important aspect of being a chief. It's getting the respect of the class.
Tell me about Seth and Megan. What did you think of the job they did?
Seth and Megan were like the biggest role models for me senior year. They really just exemplified what being part of pubs is all about. They were so dedicated to it. For them, it wasn't about the grade. It was about like coming out with a great story. And that's what they worked for.
So you won Journalist of the Year as a sophomore. How do you think you got to that level?
Every assignment I got sophomore year, I just put my heart and soul into it. Um, like I was constantly on top of my sources and interviewing people and setting up appointments to meet with people and just making sure that my writing was solid. At first, I was just trying to follow the basic guidelines that Brown gave us in the beginning of the year with those notes. And after that, it just came so natural to me. And I was much more interested in like the newsy stories than the features. But like going towards my senior year, I opened up more toward writing feature stories. And that's how the
Why did you
choking game came
prefer?
about. What?
Yeah, why did you prefer newsy stories?
I really like straightforward writing and getting to the point and telling the facts rather than Seth and Megan style, which is just really digging deep into people and finding out about their lives, which is cool, but I think I'm much more better at breaking news.
How did you juggle like school and pubs at the same time? Because you like had a ton of AP classes and stuff, so how did you keep the two balanced?
Sophomore year wasn't a challenge much because I didn't have AP classes. Junior year, everything changed. I was taking difficult classes, and I was on the speech team and in pubs, which is a heavy load, but I never let like worrying about being stressed or lack of sleep get in the way, because I mean, you're in high school once, you might as well take full advantage of it. There's all these opportunities standing in front of you, or you're just going to let them pass by. So, you know, I just took full advantage of it, and I think I had a really successful high school career. I wouldn't have done it any other way.
Sophomore year, Brown gave like the first rabid dog speech. Tell me about
He
that.
did. That was in November of sophomore year. Apparently, a lot of people had been slacking off that month. That was the month that I wrote my first serious news article, and it was about the MCC Promise program. And I rocked that article, and I was pretty proud of it. So when he gave the speech, I wasn't intimidated or scared or anything. I looked at myself, and I knew that I fit into the professional category. So when he gave the speech, I was like, I'm already doing what I should be doing, and I'm only a sophomore.
Why do you think you picked up on copy editing so quickly?
I don't know. I've always been good in English, but I think after junior year of high school, I moved away from the English class level of English and more into journalism. And copy editing just came so naturally to me. With the editing tests and writing my articles, I always made sure that before I turned in my drafts, that my copy editing was accurate and that I had looked up everything. Otherwise, I don't want to make myself look like I didn't try. I wanted to make it as easy as I could for the editors, as I would have wanted if I were the editor. That way they could focus more on the style aspect and the content of the story rather than the technical things. It's the editor's job to make the article more creative, or more, just edit it for more content and help you improve in that area, because anybody can do copy editing.
What did you do to prepare for the senior year state championship?
I did the same thing I'd always done. I just did copy editing exams. I knew that it was something that I was truly good at, so it wasn't something I needed to prepare for so much, like for an AP test or another academic challenge. I knew what my ability was, so it would just be a test of my ability against other people.
What do you do at the Maneater?
I just write news stories as much as I can. I've written, I think, 12 stories so far. They're all news stories. They've been city, state, and nation, student organizations, and university news. And most of these stories, you have to call up people who know their stuff, and you have to be able to sound professional, because I'm interviewing the same people that highly recognized newspapers are interviewing.
How did The Voice and Brown's lessons prepare you for that?
Being on The Voice just gave me the experience of reporting, interviewing people, and writing an article that was necessary to be successful in college. And I learned a lot of responsibility in Brown's class.
Tell me one of those moments where you like hit a wall and you're like, oh my god, I have so much to do, and how did you overcome it?
I guess there were just a lot of nights where we're at layout, still haven't written the editorial yet, still pages not being done, but it just takes like sitting down, looking at the screen, and getting it over with and thinking about the newspaper coming out that Friday and how great it's going to look, that gets you through it. And also just being with the people that are on the editorial board, Megan, Seth, Grace, Aaron Bankson, um, and the other chiefs when I was younger. Just being with that supportive group of people helps you find a common goal and work to achieve it. And I couldn't have done it without them.
So do you guys think you were pacemaker worthy?
We definitely brought the newspaper to another level, and I'm going to go ahead and say that I think that our newspaper is worthy of a pacemaker.
How did you bring it to another level?
The majority of our editorial board was made of seniors, and those seniors were the best writers that we had probably in Huntley High School. Having these people who are so experienced, it was less of us teaching the class rather than us being models to the class. So the experience we brought senior year made us a model to what the sophomores should be doing. And seeing our work made them want to work even harder. So it's just a cycle. Every year, the younger rookies see the work of the veterans and they want to reach that level because they see everything that can come from it. All of the success and all the bonds you make